the United States remains one of the world's largest horse exporters, primarily to countries such as Mexico, Canada and some European countries where horse meat is widely consumed. Horses are raised on large farms where they are fed a special diet, including hay, grain and supplements to help them grow healthy. Horses selected for export or commercial use undergo rigorous testing to ensure quality. Meanwhile, the U.S. pig industry is one of the largest in the world. Pigs are raised on modern farms, using advanced technology such as environmental control systems, automated barns, and carefully calculated nutritional regimens to ensure rapid growth and optimize meat production. Pig breeds are carefully selected to achieve the highest productivity, good disease resistance and meat quality that meets export standards. From the moment piglets are born, they receive special care to ensure a high survival rate in the first weeks of life. Piglets are breastfed and gradually transferred to a nutritious weaning diet. Farms use technology to identify and track each pig using an electronic chip system, helping to monitor their health and control their development effectively. Thanks to the development of technology, vaccination, disease control and pig herd management have become more accurate, helping to minimize risks and increase farming efficiency. When pigs reach standard weight, they will be transported to processing plants using a specialized vehicle system, ensuring safe transportation conditions and not causing stress to the animals. At the factory, pigs are processed according to a strict process, from slaughtering, cleaning, meat classification, packaging to preservation. Pork processing plants in the US are equipped with automatic production lines, using modern cutting and packaging technology to ensure the quality of output products. The entire process of slaughtering and processing pork must comply with strict regulations of the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, to ensure food safety and hygiene. After processing, pork will be distributed to supermarkets, restaurants, or exported to international markets. American pork products are famous for their high quality, meeting strict food safety standards, so they are always present in many major markets around the world. Meanwhile, although the US does not have a domestic commercial horse slaughter industry, a large number of horses are still taken across the border for meat consumption in other countries. The horse industry in the US mainly revolves around horse racing, pleasure riding, and working horse breeding. Horse farms in the US often invest heavily in care and training, especially for rare or valuable horse breeds in racing. Raising horses and pigs in the US is not only a food production industry but also an important part of the country's agricultural economy. Thanks to the development of science and technology, the process of raising and processing meat in the US is becoming more and more optimal, bringing high economic efficiency and ensuring animal welfare standards. In the future, this industry will continue to apply new technologies such as artificial intelligence, automation and big data to improve productivity. minimize environmental impact and meet the increasing demands of the market. In addition to advances in livestock farming, the meat processing industry in the US is also growing strongly with modern factories, where pork is processed according to strict procedures to ensure quality and food safety. Once the pigs arrive at the plant, they are slaughtered according to humane standards, with advanced anesthesia technology to reduce pain and stress for the animals. The automated slaughter process increases efficiency, reduces errors, and ensures the highest level of food safety. After slaughter, the pigs are cleaned and divided into different parts, from lean meat, ribs, belly to organs. Each part is processed and packaged according to its own standards to meet the diverse needs of the market. Some types of pork will be further processed into sausages, ham, bacon, or frozen products, helping to extend the shelf life and increase the value of the product. Meat processing plants in the US use advanced refrigeration technology to preserve meat at optimal temperatures, preventing bacteria from growing and maintaining freshness for a long time. In addition to the domestic market, the US also exports a large amount of pork to countries such as Japan. Korea, China and Europe. US pork products are highly appreciated for their superior quality, transparent production processes and strict compliance with international food safety standards. US pork exporters often have to meet the requirements strict about product origin, storage conditions, quarantine and traceability to ensure consistent quality when it reaches consumers. Meanwhile, the horse breeding industry in the US, although not serving the purpose of domestic meat production, still plays an important role in the economy. The horse racing industry brings in huge revenue from tournaments. Betting and horse breeding business. Excellent racehorses can be worth up to millions of dollars, and this industry creates hundreds of thousands of jobs for American workers. Horses in the US are carefully cared for on high-end farms, where they are trained, regularly checked for health and applied with special diets to develop the best physical condition. Some farms specialize in raising working horses, serving agricultural, police or tourism purposes. These horses are often trained to get used to farm work, pulling carts or serving in nature reserves. Although the United States does not slaughter horses for domestic consumption, large numbers of horses are still shipped overseas to meet the demand for horse meat in countries such as France, Belgium, Switzerland, Japan, and Mexico. The process of shipping horses overseas is controversial, as some animal welfare organizations argue that it causes stress and suffering for the animals. However, the industry persists due to international market demand and the economic value it brings. Legally, the US government has many strict regulations to control the breeding and transportation of animals, ensuring that animal welfare is a top priority. Pig and horse farms must comply with standards for housing conditions, sanitation, disease control, and food safety. Farms that do not meet these standards can be fined. Have their operating licenses revoked, or face lawsuits from animal welfare organizations. Thanks to strict control policies, the US has built a modern livestock and food processing industry, providing high-quality food sources for both domestic and international markets. With the development of technology, the livestock and food processing industry in the US is moving towards a more sustainable model. Minimizing environmental impacts and improving animal welfare. In addition to livestock and processing processes, the US pork and horse industry is also influenced by the market and consumer trends. In recent years, the demand for organic, antibiotic and hormone-free food has increased, forcing farms to adjust their farming methods to meet market standards. Many farms have switched to raising pigs using organic methods, using non-GMO feed. Ensuring natural living conditions and minimizing the use of antibiotics. These organic pork products are more expensive but are popular in high-end supermarket chains and luxury restaurants. In addition, technology also plays an important role in improving production efficiency and quality management. Modern livestock farms in the US apply artificial intelligence and big data to analyze the health and development of livestock. Camera monitoring systems, temperature and humidity sensors help monitor barn conditions in real time, ensuring an optimal living environment for pigs. Automated robots are also used to feed, clean barns and monitor animal health, helping to reduce manual labor and improve production efficiency. At processing plants, technology is also applied to optimize the production process. Machinery helps automate most stages such as slaughtering, cutting, packaging and preservation, minimizing human intervention to ensure food hygiene and safety. Some factories use vacuum packaging and quick freezing technology to extend storage time without losing meat quality. The US pork export market is also affected by political and trade factors. In the past, the trade war between the US and China has made it difficult to export pork to China, forcing producers to seek alternative markets. Japan, South Korea, and Mexico are important customers for the US pork industry. But trade agreements and import regulations can also affect export volumes. For the horse industry, although not an official food source in the US, the export of horses for slaughter is still a reality. Horses that are no longer valuable for racing, pleasure riding, or agriculture are often sold abroad. Animal welfare organizations have repeatedly spoken out against this practice, calling on the US government to ban the export of horses for slaughter. Several states in the US have passed laws prohibiting the transportation of horses across borders for slaughter. But there are still legal loopholes that allow the practice to continue. Meanwhile, the horse racing industry in the US remains a highly profitable sector, with billions of dollars invested in prestigious races such as the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes and Belmont Stakes. Top racehorses are worth millions of dollars, and racehorse farms invest heavily in breeding, care and training to ensure they achieve peak performance. Overall, the US livestock and meat industry is increasingly modernizing and sustainable. Advanced technologies help increase productivity, minimize environmental impact and ensure the highest food safety standards. At the same time, strict animal welfare regulations are also contributing to changing the way livestock is raised, moving towards a more environmentally and socially responsible agriculture. In addition to advances in technology and production processes, the US livestock and meat processing industry also faces many challenges related to the environment, diseases and fluctuations in global markets. One of the biggest problems in the pig farming industry is its impact on the environment, especially the issue of livestock waste. Large pig farms in the US produce millions of tons of manure each year, which poses a risk of water and air pollution if not properly treated. To minimize this impact, many farms have adopted advanced waste management measures, including wastewater treatment systems, reusing waste as organic fertilizer and even converting waste into biogas for energy production. Some large farms cooperate with energy companies to build biogas systems, which help convert pig manure into electricity for use in production, contributing to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to environmental issues, the pig farming industry also faces the risk of disease, especially African swine fever, ASF, a dangerous disease that can cause severe damage to the livestock industry. The US has taken many strict measures to prevent ASF from entering the country, including strict control of pork imports, application of biosecurity measures in livestock farming and development of vaccines to prevent the disease. The COVID-19 pandemic has also severely affected the meat processing industry in the US, when many plants had to close due to outbreaks among workers. This has disrupted meat supplies, increased meat prices and caused great losses to farmers. After the pandemic, processing plants have invested heavily in automation to reduce dependence on human labor, while improving hygiene and labor safety standards. Meanwhile, the horse industry in the US is also affected by many economic and social factors. Horse care costs are rising, especially for feed, medicine, and labor. Many recreational horse owners are struggling to keep up with the costs, leading to more horses being abandoned or sold overseas. To address this problem, many animal welfare organizations have established horse rescue centers, where old or abandoned horses are cared for and rehomed. At the same time, the US government has many programs to support the horse racing industry, including funding research on horse health, improving stable conditions, and controlling the use of stimulants in horse racing. In addition, the US food processing industry is also changing to meet the demand for sustainable consumption. Large food companies are increasingly interested in providing products that are transparently sourced, environmentally friendly, and ensure animal welfare. Many major brands have pledged to only use pork from non-confinement farms, while developing plant-based meat alternatives to reduce their reliance on animal agriculture. In terms of markets, the US remains one of the world's largest meat exporters, with pork being one of its main exports. China, Japan and South Korea continue to be important markets, but the US is also expanding exports to European countries and the Middle East. Changes in trade policies between countries can affect exports, forcing